KLEK 102.5 forecast. And this weather forecast is brought to you by CustomShirtInc.com. Screen printing in the digital age. CustomShirtInc.com. Phone 888-626-7636. Good morning weather forecast for your Wednesday. Partly to mostly sunny, cool today, upper 40s and low 50s. A northwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly to mostly clear tonight, 25 to 32. Thursday, mostly sunny, cooler, only in the low to mid-40s, and a northwest wind at 10 miles per hour. It'll stay in the low to mid-40s Friday, partly to mostly sunny, maybe a few snow showers Friday night. Jonesboro, that's your KLEK 102.5 FM weather.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. The Palestinians say Donald Trump's expected announcement the US will recognise Jerusalem as Israel's capital will be the kiss of death for the Middle East peace process. 2 men have been remanded in custody following the foiling of an alleged plot to assassinate British Prime Minister Theresa May. Humanitarian groups are warning asylum camps in the Greek islands are grossly over capacity, and Johnny Hallyday, the biggest pop star in French history, has died at the age of 74.
It's 9:01.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
KLEK 102.5 FM, good morning to you on your Wednesday. It's December 6, 2017. This is Community Conversations. Kato Wonder is in the studio with you. I'm joined by my co-host, Ms. Kubila Harden, the 2017 Volunteer of the Year. Just had to put that out there. And we are joined today, since it is the first Wednesday of the month, by Jonesboro Police Chief Rick Elliott. Always a pleasure to have Chief Elliott in the studio. Also joining him is Mr. Nathan Coleman of the Jonesboro Fraternal Order of Police. And we're also glad to have Mr. Coleman here in the studio as well. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, everybody. So we're going to jump right into it. And we're going to allow Mr. Officer Coleman to tell us about an event that is coming up that is an annual event that brings a lot of joy to a lot of families.
Yes, ma'am. I think you're talking about the Shop with a Cop event.
Yes.
It's going to be this Saturday. Officers from Jonesboro Police, County, all over Northeast Arkansas. They all come together, and we take about 40 children that have been hand-selected.
Okay.
We take them to go have breakfast at Chick-fil-A. We go. This year we're going to change things up a little bit. We're actually, in years past, a lot of the news outlets and media would try to come and find somebody to interview or to talk to, and they'd have to track someone down at Target or Walmart or the mall, and you never knew if it was somebody who was real familiar with the event or if it was someone who it was their first time. So this year we've added Academy as one of our co-sponsors.
Okay.
And we're going to have a big kickoff at 10 o'clock there. So all the kids, all the officers will be there, and they're giving each one of the kids $50 gift card to spend at Academy.
Okay.
The Rotary Club has been our biggest partner with this every year. They actually are the ones that started it 10 years ago. And they give each child $100, and they can spend that any way they see. A lot of kids will spend it on themselves. Some will spend it on their parents, siblings. Some will spend it on much needed things. Some will spend it on much wanted things. So
that is amazing that you all are able to put some joy on these kids' face and their hearts and help them have a better Christmas, better holiday.
We've also, last year was the first time we added Gigi's Cupcakes. Okay. So after we get done taking them shopping, we'll take them and get them a little treat.
Put a little food in their belly.
Oh, yeah. Send them back all sugared up.
Okay.
to their
Yeah,
face.
and full of energy and hyperactive to bounce all over the place with all of their new found toys and gifts.
And then we've, this year, someone just actually sent me a message just before I came in here that Miss Amy Reeves, she's doing a photography session at ASU, and it's going to be, I believe Santa's going to be there, and then she's going to be doing little mini sessions. And she's invited any officer and the child that they're with, if they want to come and have a session, that she'll do that for free of charge for us.
That is awesome. So shout out to
there's a lot of people that have, really helped us to grow this year after year.
So we definitely have to give a shout out to all the residents and businesses of Jonesboro that have stepped up to make this a wonderful event year after year.
Absolutely.
And what year is this going into?
This will be the 10th.
The 10th year.
It started in 2007.
Wow. So was it something that you started? Or?
No. Actually, the Rotary Club, there was
That's
a
right.
there was a former president, I believe his name was Russell Patton.
Okay.
And he went to a like a district conference, and he brought the idea back. And
Okay.
the late Mr. Tom Beasley, he kind of implemented it and put it into motion back in 2007.
Okay.
And they were looking for officers, and some of the departments couldn't supply all the needs.
Okay.
Just limited manpower and things of that nature, and so they contacted the FOP, and they had a little more. They had a little more pull from each department, and they were able to bring maybe there's still people that are out there working the streets that don't get to participate, and there's people that are working the graduation that day, and so we've got Jonesboro and all these other people that are other departments that come in and make this just a tremendous success.
That is so awesome. So, will you get a chance to go around with the child? Will you get a chance to pick a child, or go shopping with the child?
I've gone every year. My wife is actually getting her master's, so she'll be graduating.
Okay.
Congratulations.
So I'm trying real hard to figure out how I can do both. So I may just be there in a support role, and so I can leave out in time to make sure I don't miss her walking. We'll see. So I think we've got a lot of people that are wanting to help this year.
Okay.
We've got the Citizens Police Academy that are wanting to come out. They're going to come out and help.
Awesome.
We've got some reserves that are going to come out and ride. All of the new hires, I believe, are going to be out there. So that'll be the first time in uniform outside of graduation. They'll get to. And I think once they do it, they'll be hooked. Everybody is.
Alrighty. So we pray that this year leads to a bigger next year and the years to come.
I'm sure it grows every year. Especially from word of mouth, the excitement that the kids have, telling their parents and their friends, and it's also a goodwill building tool, to show show that once again police, that hey, we're people too, and instead of fearing the police, saying hey, the police, do support you and are your friends. We have a couple Facebook shout-outs. Shout out to Cora Evans Hester, David Nunez, and Shamal C. Carter.
All right. Thank you all for checking in. All right. So let's switch a little bit and talk about the Fraternal Order of the Police. I know we talk about it some, but we definitely want to just continue to put that plug in to let people know what you do and how you serve.
Well, we do different events throughout the year. I became president. This is my third year.
Okay.
We've created a Facebook page. We've created a website. We've been able to kind of streamline some of our operations as far as the events that we host. Social media is a powerful tool.
Yes.
And so we're able to kind of expand our reach, especially with the fishing derby. We do a fishing derby in the summertime. And, we'll have anywhere from 100 to sometimes 300 children come out and fish with us, and we will give out prizes to every single child that's there. We give away a few TVs, some bicycles. There's also some tagged fish. We have a egg hunt at the Miracle League for children with disabilities and special needs.
When did that go down?
Usually we try to plan it for about 2 weeks before all of the other big Easter egg hunts for parents that may have a child with special needs and other children that don't have special needs.
Okay.
That way they don't have to take make a decision as to which one they're going to attend. This one's early enough to where they can have they can bring their children and let them have a good time, and it's just in a safe environment, and we have it well protected.
Okay. Now with the fishing derby, that one's coming up, so maybe in March of. I don't know exactly when Easter is, but usually in March or some part of April.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sure you have already started planning, or will start planning.
Yeah, once the first of the year, once we get past Shop with a Cop, we've actually got something new that's coming up for 2018.
Okay.
What I'm working on is trying to get a inflatable BB gun shoot house. From Daisy, and what we're hoping to do is we've already got a lot of Well, let me start over.
Okay.
We're going to try to get an inflatable shoot house, and we're going to try to put it up at like a business, hopefully academy or something like that. And we're going to have targets that have the safe rules to properly handling a BB gun.
Okay.
Maybe how someone should interact if they come across a police officer and they have a BB gun, because there are instances where BB guns can be confused with real guns, especially with manufacturers making them look the exact same.
Yes.
But the biggest thing is parents should be there with their children if they're out shooting. If it's a safe thing, it's not a toy. It's not to go play around at random. It's to be used in a safe environment with a target, with eye protection, with adult supervision, and that's one of the things we're going to kind of help to educate certain people about that may not know. Some kids have never held a BB gun, and so we're going to get them out there and kind of show them the safe way to handle things like that, and kind of help promote the shooting sports. We've also got about 100 locks so far that we're going to be giving away free of charge for anybody who wants to take one home and secure their firearms at home.
Okay.
And we're just going to have that open. We'll probably give away a BB gun set every time we have it out. We're hoping to have it out once a month. And we're going to have little sponsor spots on the targets, and that's going to be how we fundraise next year in order to bring the fishing derby and the egg hunt and all the other stuff. So,
and of course, another thing that the FOP is doing is the FOP calendar. I believe y'all, I don't know if y'all have wrapped that up or still have it going on, but just kind of tell the listeners and viewers a little bit about that.
Well, we had partner sponsors this last year. We've been trying to change up our fundraising because there's certain fundraising companies that take an unbelievable amount. Like, it's kind of a shameful amount that they take. And I know that I couldn't in good faith try to get someone to donate to our organization with as much as these companies were taking out. Okay. So we scrapped those companies, decided to do it all in-house, and one of the things we had was a partner sponsorship. And with that, every sponsor that took part in that had a spot in the calendar. And so what we did is we took and we opened up some of the businesses said, I want this person in particular to be in the calendar, and so that spot wasn't even available. But the ones that said, it's up to you guys, y'all make the decision. And what we did is we made a little competition, and there were 22 teams, and each team picked a organization like Make-A-Wish, the Food Pantry. We've got a list of all of them that were on there. I think some were for ALS, American Cancer Society, multiple sclerosis, and every team went out there and kind of self-promoted. And there were a bunch of crazy memes and little wars that were going on, but they were all in good fun. And the top 9 teams were, I think they raised everything that was raised. 50% of it, stayed with the FOP, and 50% of it went to the that organization that they raised money for. Even if they didn't win, as long as they raised money, there was a minimum that we sent. Even if they raised $5, we still sent even more just to make sure we met our minimum. And we were able to send about $1,600 on Giving Tuesday, right after Cyber Monday, and I mailed out about 13 or 14 checks to all those different organizations, nonprofits, and things. And so we've got 9 teams that won. So we've got 11 spots filled on the calendar, and then on December is going to be our Shop with a Cop photo from this past year. So hopefully, if this continues, then everybody that comes out for Shop with a Cop this year will be part of next year's calendar.
And how much are those calendars? Because I'd like to get one for the studio.
Well, they're for a $15 donation. We're going to have them.
Well, just let me know, and
we're hoping to have them here in about the next maybe 2 weeks.
All right, well, just get with me and put me down for one.
I'll bring you one myself.
I appreciate it.
And to keep up with more of what the Fraternal Order of the Police are doing, go to Jonesboro Fraternal Order of Police Lodge 8 on Facebook and just scroll through their page. They have a lot of pictures and exciting things that different officers have been doing all around the city. Of course, I love seeing the animal.
If I could throw this out there, we're about 500 likes, just about 500 likes away from beating Little Rock FOP on their Facebook page. What? So if you go in there and share it, invite some of your friends, we'll be topping the state.
So can you throw in a mug or something? I don't know.
Well, hey, I've already got my calendar, so
whoever helps you hit the requested number of likes, can you throw them FOP merchandise or something?
We can do something.
All right, people, get out there and start liking our page. All righty. Well, we thank you so much, Mr. Nathan. Any other things you would like to share, or any other things you'd like to share?
Anything else going on with FOP you would like the listeners and viewers to know about?
I think we've touched on just about everything that I can think of.
Okay. We thank you.
Can you think of anything?
No.
I think this is the longest we've ever went without Chief saying something.
We're gonna bring Chief in a moment.
Sorry about that.
We thank you so much, and we appreciate your service. And what shift do you work?
I work third shift.
Third shift. So if you see him out rolling, just say hi, wave at him, give him some coffee, Red Bull, something. Help him to stay woke out there on those streets. So, and what area do you patrol?
It's different every night.
Different every night. Okay.
Right now, I'm training a new recruit, so they give me free run of the city.
Oh wow.
So we can take any calls that she may need more experience handling, or something that maybe she hasn't seen yet. We have free reign to go to all those calls, and we volunteer for a lot of them.
All right. So are you driving or letting her drive?
She's driving.
She's driving. All right. So you can't doze off. I'm sure you stay pretty busy that you don't get sleepy overnight. No, the crazies come out at night. All right. So we thank you so much.
Chief, you're looking at you had something you wanted to say?
No, I'm good. Hey.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty. So let's talk about Jonesboro overall. Like, there's so many odd little things going on, and Christmas is coming up. We can't stress enough about being safe and vigilant and aware, and we say this all the time, but we can't say it enough.
We do, and it's a shame we have to constantly repeat ourselves, but this is the season that people are out shopping, and we just want people to exercise caution going from the vehicle to the store. Stay off your phone, pay attention to your surroundings, and it just creates a little bit safer environment for yourself and everybody involved. There's a lot of traffic in these parking lots, and sometimes people have their mind in their phone and may get hit by a vehicle. So a lot of folks not paying attention. Even the drivers in the parking lots are still on the cell phones and not paying attention to what they're doing, and so there's a lot of hazards out there. Secondly, we'd like to say, when you do go shopping, before you leave your vehicle, secure your valuables in the trunk of your vehicles. Don't leave them laying in plain sight. And third, lock it. Lock the vehicle.
Okay.
And our motto is lock it or lose it. Because if you don't lock it, somebody's going to come along and open it and take whatever out of your vehicle. And that only applies at the mall, but in your residential areas, past couple of years we've had several rashes of vehicle break-ins to several neighborhood residents throughout the city, and so we just encourage people, regardless where you live, if you have valuables in your vehicle, be sure to lock your vehicle.
Yeah.
We've had way too many guns and things stolen out of vehicles that these officers may have to face on the street someday because of somebody's carelessness.
I want to ask you a question. I saw a video on Facebook, and this didn't happen in Jonesboro. This homeowner happened to have a security camera outside their home.
Mm-hmm.
They were able to catch people rolling up, snatching a package off the porch, and so the owner just happened to be home and ran out and grabbed one person. The car, of course, drove away.
Right.
And that person restrained the thief until the officers got there. Do we have the right to do that?
Well, certainly you got a right to always protect yourself and your family. The question is it a wise decision to go out and have a physical encounter with a suspect? Because a lot of times these people that are out doing things like this, they may be on some kind of drug, and the potential of you getting hurt, is pretty substantial. And you have to ask yourself, is this piece of property worth getting hurt?
Okay.
So this is not a deadly force situation. People think, if I catch somebody stealing something off my front porch, I'd shoot them, and that is not a deadly force type situation. So they would be in trouble over that.
So what are the laws regarding that? I know Well, I think I know in Texas, I think they have a stand your ground.
Well, so does Arkansas. You don't have to retreat if you're on your property and there's a situation going on. If you're, say, outside your curtilage of your property, you're not required to retreat from a threat.
Okay, so if someone comes onto your property or within your home, you have a right to protect yourself.
You always got a right to protect yourself.
I mean, okay. What if it was a case like there was another video, this maybe some years ago, homeowners shot someone, but they were from the back, but they were still in the house, in their house. So how would that
Well, bottom line is, if a person breaks in your house, you have the right to defend yourself and your family.
Okay.
So once somebody kicks the door in, they have subject themselves to a deadly force situation.
Okay.
And if the homeowner happens to shoot, by the time they tuck tail and start to run and they get hit in the back, then so be it.
Okay.
Don't chase them down the street, shoot.
But don't get
Okay.
Once the threat has left, then you don't need to be the instigator and pursue after them and continue shooting down the block.
Okay.
That changes things.
All
But
right.
a man's home is his castle, and you have a right to protect yourself inside your home and you and your family.
Okay. I know that there are, a lot of videos and things that show online that, you don't know the beginning of the situation. And so you have a lot of people weighing in on what they think should have, could have, would have happened.
Yeah, we see that every day.
Okay.
News media, online, YouTube, whatever. Everybody's a journalist now, and those are on comments out there.
Alrighty, so we're going to leave it at that. We're going to get ready for a break.
You're tuned to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
Are you prepared for the storms in your marriage? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. The weather app for my phone gives me a forecast for the cities I travel to. Recently, I began thinking about how helpful it would be to have a marriage app, an app that would forecast what kind of weather to expect at home every day. Even though I haven't invented such an app, I can share with you a daily checklist that will help avoid oncoming storms in your marriage. First, check the forecast. Look at the upcoming family calendar and know what days or weeks look extra busy. Then, intentionally offer more help to your spouse to calm potential storms. For more ways to avoid oncoming storms in your marriage, check out my blog at markmerrill.com. Remember, your family first.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a non-profit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
For almost 3 years, KLEK 102.5 FM has brought you the music you love on your radio, on your computer, and on your phone. Now, we want to bring the music to your party, wedding, or any event. KLEK now offers DJ services for all occasions with over 22 years of DJ and broadcast experience. We can also announce your event on KLEK. Need a photographer for that special occasion? We got that covered too. Package deals available. Book us for DJ, photography, or for both for your event today. Call 870-203-9951 or look us up on social media at KLEK-FM.
Karaoke and photo booths with a custom design of your event are also available.
KLEK thanks CJ Pepper and the staff of Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated for helping people through hard times in life such as depression, family issues, stress, abuse, and more. They offer counseling and therapy for all ages, individuals, families, and groups. They are located at 1217 Stone Street. Phone number 1-866-972-1268 or online at lscihelp.com. Meineke of Jonesboro is now Starks Auto Service, a full-service auto repair and vehicle maintenance center offering engine and transmission repair, brake service, tires, oil changes, and more, performed by ASE certified mechanics. The all-new Starks Auto Service, 2813 South Caraway Road in Jonesboro, 870-204-7112. Starks Auto Service, Jonesboro.com.
The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated was established on January 1st, 1977, originally serving Blytheville, Arkansas, and now serving Jonesboro, Blytheville, Osceola, Marion, and West Memphis, Arkansas. Today, the chapter continues to make an impact by focusing on Alpha's national community outreach initiatives such as My Brother's Keeper, A Voteless People is a Hopeless People, Go to High School, Go to College, Project Alpha, Boy Scouts, and the March of Dimes. The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is committed to Alpha's mission of developing leaders, promoting brotherhood and academic excellence, while providing service and advocacy to the community. More information about the Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is available at MOL Alphas on Facebook or via email at molalphas@gmail.com.
Craighead County Clerk Cade Holliday hopes that you and your loved ones will enjoy the special gifts of this Christmas and holiday season. The gift of love, the gift of peace, the gift of happiness. Christmas and the holidays are not only a time for spreading a message of cheer and goodwill, but also a time to say thank you to the citizens of Craighead County. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you from Craighead County Clerk Cade Holliday.
The Epic Center, located at 1899 Hasbrook Road, County Road 333, is Jonesboro's newest venue for entertainment for the entire family. They offer an auditorium with theater-style seating for up to 1,100 guests, a large stage, professional lighting and sound, dressing rooms, concessions, and more. Available for weddings, concerts, pageants, birthday parties, showers, and more. Booking and other information is available at Epic Center Jonesboro on Facebook, epiccenterjonesboro.com, and at 870-530-5841.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
And we're back on Community Conversations on KLEK with our guest, Jonesboro Police Chief Rick Elliott, and we're also joined by Officer Nathan Coleman of the Jonesboro Fraternal Order of Police Lodge 8. And we have a few Facebook shout-outs, so we want to go ahead and get those in before we get back into our discussion. And let me just pull up the video and we'll get those going. Shout out to, well, I actually pulled up my little love thing. Well, I like the post, but I'm trying to see who's actually showing love, but it's all good though. Well, we have Pamela Coleman, KL, Cora Evans, Hester, and Sherelle Gregory says, good morning, the City of Jonesboro, Arkansas government, Tanita Boyd Wathel, David Nunez, and Shamal C. Carter.
All right.
Good morning and shout out to all of them.
All right, so let's go back to November. I know you came first part of November, so there's a lot of things that happen. There's always a lot of things that happen after you all come. All right, so let's go back to, well, this picture was posted November 8th. It says local teens learn about being police officers during Job Shadow Day at the Jonesboro Police Department. So tell us about that.
Right. The schools always have a Job Shadow Day throughout their school year. And this year, instead of having a student, one student come in, like one day here and one day there, we just picked a day and advised all the schools that if any child wants to participate in job shadowing in the police department, they would come to PD on that day. We'd do one big class. So it worked out better for us and I think for the schools. And it gave us a classroom full of kids that we spent the day with talking about what we do in the world of policing.
Okay.
So is
this you with the dog?
It is. That picture is where I'm taking a bite from one of our dogs.
And where's this equal be? I need to check this out.
It's at the police department.
JPD page? Well, I'm about to go check that out. Yeah.
So Nathan, with you working the night shift, do you get to participate in a lot of these different activities that go on in the daytime?
if I wake up in time. There's a lot of times, just like today, I didn't go home and go to sleep because I'm pretty sure I'd still be asleep right now if I did.
Oh no! We definitely appreciate you for stopping by and sacrificing some sleep. All right, so the next thing I see, and it's Jonesboro Police asked to speak about workplace violence. We wish this wasn't a thing, but unfortunately, it is a thing.
Well, unfortunately, you are correct, and all too often, violence erupts in the workplace, around the country, and sometimes it turns deadly situations. So, it's a shame now that workplaces and churches, schools have to start preparing for things like that active shooter and what to do in violent kind of situations. But that's just the trend that's going on across the country right now. Make yourself prepared if something does happen in your workplace and that you can deal with it and minimize the threat.
All right. So sadly, we have to be on guard. It feels like
we
have to be on guard 24/7 against who's going to act up and act out today.
It is sad, and it's really disheartening to have to see our churches have security teams so people can go and worship and and feel safe when they do so. And but most of our churches in our community have now developed security teams to protect the congregation. And that's just the trend going on across the country.
Have you all been asked to come to any local churches?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. We've been training church staff members actually for years. Then when some of these recent church shootings come up, the calls come in even more. But again, the local churches, that they have done their part. They have trained their people, and some of these off-duty officers go to these go to church, and they help provide security for the church also. So,
are they allowed, or do they take their weapons?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Our officers are authorized to carry the weapon 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I strongly encourage that when they are out and about that they're to be armed.
Okay.
And under federal law, they can carry anywhere in the United States.
Oh,
yeah, HR 218 allows for that.
Okay.
So, yes, and some people think, oh, well, that officer's off duty, he doesn't have arrest powers. Well, that they are incorrect.
Okay.
These officers have arrest powers 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
All right.
If they're off duty, we prefer that they first start being a witness instead of getting involved. But if things are bad enough, they will arrest you and have the authority to do so by virtue of the law and virtue of my policy.
Okay.
Well, and to give you an example of that, Quabila, even though this was actually a university police officer, but it was a couple years back, the UPD officer had just gotten off work, went to IHOP, got something to eat, and some guys came in and tried to rob the place, and he had just had his regular clothes on. He had, I think, probably taken his uniform off, so he didn't realize he was a cop, and he immediately sprung to action, took care of the situation. I believe he got like Officer of the Year for the state for what he did. So that's just an example right there.
One of the robbers saw him on the phone, contacted 911, and he's coming over to threaten him, and robber got shot. So he ended up fleeing the business, but was later apprehended. But these officers have a right to protect themselves and their family. And
all right, we want to say thanks to all of the officers that put their life on the line every single day, 24 hours a day. Can't thank you enough, because even if I was able, I would not want to be a police officer. I just
well, like Chief always says, it takes a special kind of person to do the job.
It does, and it's harder to find people that want to do the job at this point. You look at law enforcement's in the news every day. Sometimes it's in a bad light, and media likes to beat up the police, and young folks nowadays, they see this day in and day out, and they ask themselves, why would I want to subject myself to that on a daily basis?
Hopefully you.
And so let me ask you this, Chief, because you've been in law enforcement, 35, 36 years, I believe now. And of course, there's always been tension and strife throughout history. So compared to when you first started police work, especially coming up in Blytheville, to now, how would you consider like the attitude of people towards police and policing, since you kind of brought that up?
Sure. Attitudes go both ways. It's attitude of the officer and it's attitude of the person you're dealing with. And as an officer, starting out, I was always raised and to treat people as you'd want to be treated. So when you start in the world of policing, you just treat people as you would like to be treated. And it's been very successful for about 37 years in law.
37,
So even, when I started out my first 11 years in Blytheville, I mean, yeah, we had our moments over there, but on the other hand, I had good community relations with all parts of the town. And you develop that relationship. I mean, you'll go in and you'll do your job, but again, if you treat people right, you build relations in the process. And in building that relationship, then those people would reach out to you when things did happen. So I would say back then, I had more cooperation. If we had a bad situation, a shooting or homicide or something, I had more information coming in then than I do now, just because of the contact and relations I had with the community.
Which is actually interesting that you bring that up, because back then you didn't have the access to the technology.
No,
back then if somebody wanted to contact you, they probably either had to call you on the phone or actually go to the station, visit you, or you come to their house. But now, you have apps and social media and other technology in which people can report crime and do it anonymously, but yet, it's less of it. They have more avenues to do so.
Right.
I want to ask Officer Nathan kind of the same question. Within the 10 years that you've been on the force, have you noticed major up, down shift?
Or just compare and contrast the difference from your first day to today?
Well, I was talking to one of the new recruits that was with me the other day, and we went to a call where we were dealing with a child who was just kind of acting out.
Okay.
And when we got there, I knew the mother by name. I knew the father by name. I've responded to that house. I've arrested the mother before. I've arrested the father before. And it's one of those things where, if you treat people with respect and you treat them correctly and treat them kindly, if I would have had a bad encounter with them either one of those times, they probably wouldn't be calling me. And they probably wouldn't be happy to see me whenever their child was acting the way that they were. And it was a grown child. I just talked to her and I said, the police are an integral part of some people's lives. I mean,
blessed
like
be the peacemakers.
You don't want to have to use your spare tire, but you're glad when it's there. You're thankful when it's needed. And if you go there and you act, if you don't act right with people, I've had people come up to me and actually thank me for arresting them. Because it has changed their life. I mean, they were headed in a bad spot, and it's not the ideal situation, but it does sometimes force or affect no other option but to kind of change your road.
Okay.
I feel confident, like when I'm out, I still carry everywhere I go, but I don't feel that there's anybody out there that really wants to get me that I've dealt with, because I do feel like I've treated people fairly, and at least I hope I have. I may be surprised and wrong one day, but I'll still continue to treat everybody with as much respect as I can.
Well, I would love to see more and more videos. And like we talked about this before, we don't see the videos of the officers doing good things. No, we don't see enough
they're out
of
there.
them.
But
there's more of those videos floating around than there is anything negative. But it just doesn't. That's just not what the media wants to put out there. It's not sensational.
Yeah.
But the reality is there's more good things, positive things going on a daily basis than there is negative things.
And speaking of positive things, something we saw on the Jonesboro Police Facebook page is the thing about the diapers. I believe you all are looking for more donation of diapers. So let's talk about that.
Sure. This is a program that was started by the local midwives in our community. We call it No Wet Behind. And basically, over the years, officers go out on calls, and they will encounter families that may not have diapers for the kids. And oftentimes, officers go to the store and out of their own pocket would buy diapers and things for these families and take back to them. And they receive no recognition. They don't ask for recognition, and maybe the rest of the shift don't even know about it. But this is things that the officers in this department has done day in and day out. Is they find a family need, they try to find them resources and get them what they need. But the diaper program got to start several months ago, and we take in donations, and then when these officers go on calls, if they encounter a family that has a child that they can't afford diapers, and then they'll go back to the station and get diapers and take back to the family, or that family can come by and stop by the police department and pick up diapers.
All right.
So we try to keep a huge supply of diapers on hand, and like I said, if anybody wants to donate, they're certainly welcome to drop them by the police department, and eventually they'll get to somebody that needs them.
And right now, the page says you're out of size 3.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone that's out there shopping, go pick up a pack of size 3 diapers.
Right.
And this is also in addition to the teddy bears that you all also give out to children on calls as well.
We do. Teddy bears and diapers. The bears are another thing that a lot of officers will keep in their car if they get on a call and have to deal with a child, or if the child's present in the situation. It's just a little gift from the officer to the child that give that child something to hang on to and comfort. It may have been a car accident or family domestic situation, who knows, but it's just something from that officer to that child that give a little comfort and compassion.
Alrighty, so I see another post on your page. It says headlight requirements. I guess sometimes we don't think about how our headlights truly affect our driving at night, especially, and then in inclement weather. So can you give us some more details about this?
If your wipers are on, turn your headlights on. It's a safety thing. Sometimes people wait till it's pitch black before they turn the headlights on at dark. When the sun's going down, before sunset, your headlights need to be on.
So can you
it's
get a
for
ticket?
your safety, it's for the safety of others. Yeah, there's laws that require this.
Oh.
So it's for your safety and the safety of others on the street. We have a lot of traffic at Jonesboro, and when you get a poured rain, heavy rain especially, it's hard to see oncoming cars, especially when they're not lit up. So it's for your safety and the safety of others.
So do you think, I know you don't have statistics right in front of you, but some of the accidents that have occurred in Jonesboro, do you think they could have been prevented if people took the proper precaution, whether it was, say, headlights or signal lights or just paying attention?
Well, your last statement was the most correct. Yes, paying attention, we could prevent a large percentage of our accidents, because distracted driving is the number one contributing factor of our accidents. Over the past year and a half or so, our accident rates have gone up over 300 a month. We've had a huge spike, and a lot of it is due to inattentive driving. So
300?
Over 300 accidents a month. Street accidents. That's not counting the
in
private
Jonesboro.
property. In Jonesboro. So, how does that affect everybody else as they're sitting and listening? Well, it affects your insurance company. So when you pay those premiums on your vehicle, over a period of time, you'll start seeing increases in your vehicle insurance. So it affects everybody.
Else.
Sure. I mean, if you're an insurance company, you're having to pay out X amount of millions of dollars, and it keeps going up, then they're going to recover their costs back through the person paying
Well, if you think about this,
the premiums.
If everybody paid attention, like 100% paid attention, and the only accidents that would happen would be mechanical failures. So every accident that happens is not due to mechanical failure, is because somebody wasn't paying attention.
Okay.
Well, I can give an example. Driving back up here from Helena, I was going around the curve, and the person on the other side swerved and almost met me head on, and I just had to, do my best to miss, and I barely missed him. And if they had hit me at 60 miles an hour head on, then this show might have been my memorial show.
Yeah, and that's the thing,
60, man.
Well, if he's doing 60 and they're doing 60, that's a 120 mile an hour collision.
Yeah.
So that's.
And they wouldn't have got to finish their text.
Oh God.
Yep, they probably were. I mean, it was at night, so.
And it happens. Sitting, especially if you're in like a higher vehicle, you can see so many people. At night when it glows, you can see so many people on the phone. In a police car, it's kind of harder because you're sitting lower, but we do have some Explorers and Tahoes, and from a higher elevation, it's very noticeable.
Wow. One thing I see, I don't drive, but when I'm riding on the Jets bus, people like to cut the lane off.
Mm-hmm.
They're turning this way. They're turning.
Yeah.
Anyway, they just ignore the person that's already legally at the stop sign. Right. They just decide, I'm gonna cut the lane off. So, can you? Well, of course, you get a ticket.
You're talking about going through like a parking lot to avoid the intersection?
Okay. I'm at a stop sign. Someone's on my right and they're turning left. But they come so far across the lane instead of.
Oh, you talking about like in that graphic on the JPD page?
Well, similar.
Where they cut your front end off?
Yes.
Yeah, they're just cutting the corner short.
Yeah.
If you see someone doing that, maybe there is no vehicle there. Can you stop them or maybe give them a warning?
You can.
Okay.
Because obviously they are going left of the designated center. The lines are clearly painted.
Okay.
And so you can't occupy. Physics says two objects can't occupy the same space at the same time.
No.
So if you're in that lane and they're doing stuff like that, absolutely they can be stopped.
So let's talk about the picture though that is on your page. You would think, and I'm going to put myself out there. You would think it's common knowledge, but. I got pulled over once for this. Pulling over to the far lane versus pulling over into the lane.
Yes, if you're making a left-hand turn is in the graphic there, and you're turning onto a roadway that has 2 lanes, you need to turn in the lane closest to you. Don't shoot across to the far lane.
Okay.
Okay, that's an improper turn. Okay. And we see that every day because we have a lot of multi-lane roads in Jonesboro.
Okay.
So, again, as you make the turn in the lane that's closest to you, then you can transition to the next lane over a little further down the road.
Okay. So we're going to have to take a break. I'm sorry.
And with that, we're back with more Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. April is Financial Literacy Month. At Money Matters, we're celebrating by giving you tips on boosting the financial IQ of you and your family. This is a great time to teach kids that dirty 4-letter word, save. Take your child on a tour of a local bank. If your kid doesn't have a savings account, help them to open one up. Most banks offer joint savings accounts that parents and children can open together, and many offer financial education programs for kids. Have them put at least 10% of any money they get, including cash, gifts, an allowance, or money earned from chores or after-school jobs, into their account. Let them spend their own money for the things that they want. This will help them to appreciate the value of budgeting, as well as the hard work that goes into earning and saving money. Plus, they'll love the sense of independence they'll get. For more information or for past shows, go to AURN.com. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization dedicated to uncompromising commitment to communities, service, leadership, empowerment. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
Courtesy Productions and KLEK presents the first annual Christmas and Blues Southern Soul Showcase featuring Billy Soul Bonds, Charles Wilson, Mo B, and Ricky White. Live December 16th at the Epic Center, 1899 CR 333 Hasbrook Road, Jonesboro. Showtime 7 p.m. Ticket, VIP, and other info 870-203-9951 or klekfm.org.
Let us keep Christmas holding it close to our hearts, for its meaning never ends, and its spirit is the warmth and joy of remembering friends. Merry Christmas and every happiness in the new year from Craighead County Tax Collector Wes Eddington.
Support for KLEK is brought to you by
Fullness of Joy Ministries, 2120 Thorn Street, Jonesboro, under the direction of Bishop Adrian Rogers and co-pastor Susan Rogers. www.fjministries.org.
KLEK 102.5 FM wants to be active in the community. If you or your organization is hosting a community service event, we would like to know about it and be a part of it. KLEK will promote your event on air, online, and on social media. KLEK personalities may also attend the event and provide music and or entertainment. Certain restrictions and availability may apply. If you or your organization would like to partner with KLEK to make the Jonesboro community a better place, call 870-277-1080 or email us at klek@klekfm.org. In order for a community announcement or church announcement to be aired on KLEK 102.5 FM, we ask that the announcement be sent at minimum 1 week in advance. Thank you for supporting KLEK 102.5 FM.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm here with Cato Wonder. This is Quavila Harden. We have Chief Rick Elliott and Officer Nathan Coleman here in the studio today. I hope that you have been enjoying our conversation, taking notes, paying attention to the road. If you're out there, if you're in your car listening, pay attention to the road. No texting and driving. These officers will get you. All right.
If I don't, the oncoming vehicle will. So, just be cautious. There's a lot of traffic in Jonesboro right now, and will be through the Christmas holidays.
College is letting out.
College is letting out, but the Christmas shopping going on. During times like this, there's well over 100,000 people in Jonesboro, and there's a lot of traffic. So, distracted driving can cause you to get hurt, or cause you to get killed. So, stay off of the phone. Don't text. Don't drive. Pay attention to others, because some folks just don't listen and are going to do it anyway. So you have to dodge them. And so do your part and have a safe and happy holiday.
All right. So this last segment, we're going to wrap up with, we're going to recognize the volunteers. For those of you who missed the volunteer gala, potato, this Friday, you missed a treat. It was a blast. This is my first year going. I've been trying to go for the past 2 years, but I finally made it. It was awesome. Just being in a room full of people who give of themselves to serve the community in which they live. It's amazing to be around that many people who love the community. And it was just to see the people get their awards, everyone was happy, and it was just a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time. And first, I'd like to say congratulations to you being the Volunteer of the Year for the City of Jonesboro.
I love what I do. It's bigger than me, so I love what I do.
Well, we appreciate it, and I love what you do also.
And I definitely concur with that statement.
And the fact that you have to put up with Leganzi.
Well, like we said off there,
that's a separate award than it's besides that. But yes, the gala was a great success, and it's one way of the city recognizing the people that dedicate their time, energy, and money to promoting the city and helping the city out. And I had my own group of volunteers that I recognized, and that was some of the alumni from my Citizen Police Academy program. And so there were a few of the alumni that really put in a lot of hours, and they received a certificate. And Cora Hester being one of them. You know, Cora's a big fan of KLEK and a big supporter of the police department.
She is all about everything.
She's into everything, isn't she? But you know what? She's a great asset to the police department, and a person that at this point I like to call a friend.
That's awesome.
But
yeah, because she'll get you.
She will. But you know, anytime that we need something from the CPA, she's one of the first volunteers to step up. And so it was a pleasure to recognize her and some of the other alumni that help us out day in and day out. And of course, you know, we also have the Reserve Police Program. These are all non-paid volunteers that, you know, put on a uniform and go out and work for free.
Wow.
And, you know, they're risking their lives for free.
Amazing.
And, you know, there's about 25 men and women that participate in the Reserve Police Officer Program. And, you know, they do this, you know, every month. They donate this time, you know, free to the city. So that's a huge benefit and supplement the police department. So, you know, I'd like to say, you know, thanks to the reserves and people that participate in that program also. You know, we're talking about the CPA. This last graduation, we've graduated over 180 citizens or residents of Jonesboro, and so that program has really grown. and the good thing is, a lot of the graduates are signing up for the alumni because they love the police department and what the police department's doing, and they want to continue to be a part of it. And we appreciate each and every one of them for doing so. And I think it just helps make our mission in community outreach go a little bit further.
Awesome. So their picture, if you want to check it out, their picture's on the Jonesboro Police Department Facebook page, and also there's a picture of your recent graduates. You had 8 officers to graduate from the police academy. So now they're out and about. One is riding with Nathan Coleman, and so they're all assigned to different shifts. Now, will they all get to rotate the different shifts during their training, during this time in the field?
Yes, they'll do I believe 4 weeks on each shift.
4 weeks on each shift. Okay. All right. So shout out to all those new officers. We pray that they stick around.
Hope so.
So do you have any current openings, or how many? Where are you fully staffed?
We are not fully staffed yet. We're in the process of finishing our last testing and background investigation. Those interviews will be coming up very soon, and we'll be hiring probably the 1st of January.
Okay.
We're probably going to have some more openings after that. The city was awarded a federal grant under the Cops for Hire program.
Okay.
And so the federal government's going to pay the salaries for 2 officers for the next 2 years, or a big portion of their salary, 75% of their salary for the next 2 years.
That's awesome.
So that will give us a chance to expand our force by at least another couple officers.
All right. And so we want to give a shout out to First Baptist Church, and then of course all of the churches that they're constantly bringing y'all snacks.
Absolutely. As I always said, we are very blessed here in Jonesboro. The citizens of this community have always taken time out to send cards and letters of thanks and support, food to the police department, and we certainly appreciate doing so. These officers enjoy being recognized and thanked. This job is often, you know, they don't get thanked enough for what they do, and this is a way that, you know, they kind of feel that, you know, there's people out there that care about what they do day in and day out.
All right, so do you get to snatch up some cookies and things when you get off shift?
More than I need to.
Well, y'all can drop a few cookies or something over here one day. We like snacks in the studio too. We thank you guys so much for joining us. We thank you for the service that you provide to the citizens of Jonesboro and Cricket County. Shout out to Sheriff Boyd. We can never get him in the studio. He's always so busy. So snatch him up for me, please. Thank you so very much. Any final words, Mackenzie?
I just want to say, thank you for all that JPD does for our city. May each and every one of you have a great and blessed day. This is Community Conversations, and this is Kate, LEK, 102.5 FM. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.